a day of thanks, and a day to be grateful for what you have. A day to be grateful for your health. Oh my goodness. Don't be saying, oh, I can't do this, or this aches, or that hurts, or whatever. Be thankful for what you have right here, right now. It's really important to focus on the positive and what you have. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. This is where you do it your way. I'm glad you're doing it today, finding time to come to your mat. It's time well spent, and it's time you certainly won't regret. As the bottom of our screen says, do what is right for your body. You always got to do what's right for your body. Don't stress over the practice. Don't take it too seriously. Just move and feel good. That is the most important thing. This is a no intimidation zone. Do it from home, find your little space, make your own little yoga studio, and just be at peace. It's a 1 hour long restorative practice today. Every day our practices are different, just like your body's different every day, right? Come back to our practices every day. Practice with us live. If you can only spare 5 minutes, like in today's child's pose, if that's all you can spare, go for it. It's still really good. As you practice today, here's the word to think about. It's appreciate. Appreciate what you got. Appreciate means to be grateful, to be thankful, and also to be fully aware of. So be fully aware of what you're feeling today in your body. We're going to hold these poses for longer periods of time, 3, 5, 7 minutes. Just focus on you. Don't stress out about what's to come or what's past. Focus on this current moment. Okay, to do this, you're going to need some props. An eye shade and a little hand towel is nice to have. A blanket for today, a blanket from your sofa, whatever. A bolster, which is, like a big, huge pillow. This one's full of buckwheat. It's wonderful. Ask for one for a gift. It's gift giving time. They're wonderful. 2 yoga blocks. We use these just about in every practice. Get them. You'll like them. All right, and some water. That's the last little thing. And be near a wall because we're going to do legs up the wall. All right, so let's come into our first pose. As you're coming down to your mat, making your way to pentacle, you know pentacle, and I'll tell you what it is in just a second. As you come on down, think about your stress number. What's going on in your head right now? How are you feeling? Scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Your head, your body, whatever, it's all connected. Just give it a number. Like, oh, I feel 2 today, or I feel 10 today. Oh, come on down, all the way down to your back. This is pentacle pose. You recline fully, spread your legs a little bit, and bring your arms up overhead. Close your eyes and breathe. Soften up in the shoulders. Limbs are heavy. Close your eyes. Deep breaths in. And some deep breaths out. And you can breathe in and out of your nose or your mouth, whatever strikes your fancy. But just breathe deeply. Shoulders are soft, even your eyes are relaxed. Let everything go. Appreciate that you are here in this moment. Make the most of the moment by just focusing on the moment. Maybe your pinky toes fall more toward the earth. And breathe. We have several pentacle poses in our practice today. Just kind of reset us back to the midline, back to equilibrium. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Our minds are so busy. Try to let the thoughts go. A nice little focusing activity here is to repeat a mantra in your mind over and over to bring you back to center. Maybe today That mantra can be very simple. It can be, I am thankful. So if you have to be thinking something, think that. I am thankful. Appreciate your breath. Feel how your body responds to a deep breath in and what it does to let it all go. You can stay here longer if this is what you need. You know what you need. Nobody else does. Stay here longer if this feels right. I'm going to come into a child's pose on the bolster if you'd like to join me. So I'm going to take another big cycle of breath. No rush, no hurry. I'm going to bring my heavy arms slowly down by my sides. Bring my legs back together toward the midline and come on up to seated and find the bolster. So take your bolster vertically on your mat. And you bring the bolster down between your knees as far as feels comfortable for you. Maybe you want to spread your knees a little bit and be fully away from the bolster and bring your chest down. I like sliding the bolster down, so I'm at about a third of the way up the bolster. Maybe bring a block to the top of the mat. Your towel or your eye shade can add extra cushioning there. And slip on down, letting your chest rest on the bolster, maybe allowing your head to be on the block or the bolster, whatever works. Adjust it. Nothing wrong with moving it. You get into position and it doesn't feel quite right, move it. Adjust it so it feels super good. Arms can be down by your sides if you like, or elbows bent and forearms on the mat as you reach a little toward the top of the mat. But what you want to do here is realize that your spine is fully supported by the bolster. As you press your chest, your belly into the bolster. Really rest, really let it go, and get comfortable. Get comfortable because we're here for 5 minutes. Adjust your knees so they feel right. Nestle in. And you got to get comfortable because you're going to stop all the motion in your body. Think of a snow globe, how it's shaken up, and when you leave it be, all the snow settles. That's what we're after. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I'll let you know when the time is up.
deep breaths in and deep breaths out. I am thankful. Total stillness in your body. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out as you fully surrender to your bolster. That has been 5 minutes, my friends. If it feels really good for you, maybe stay here longer. I'm going to take a brief pentacle pose. If you wish to join me, slide your arms on under your shoulders and press on up and come up off of your bolster. Maybe keep your eyes closed even. Remove your block and your bolster. Just push them aside and come back into your pentacle pose. Not very long. Come to fully reclined. Enjoy the getting here. That's the best part. Lift your arms up overhead, legs spread wide. Only about a minute here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out as your shoulders relax, as your pinky toes work toward the earth. Just come back to reset. We all need resets throughout the day for many things. Eyes are closed. No rush, no hurry, no worries. Just this moment, just this breath is perfect. So maybe this pentacle is magic for you today.
Stay here if this is speaking to you. I'm going to go into a toes pose, ankle pose, flow. If you'd like to join me, come out of your pentacle pose nice and slowly, arms down by your sides, legs together, press on up, and let's do toes pose and ankle pose, and we're going to flow it. So to flow it, I'm not going to use a block. I'm going to tuck my toes towards my shins, and I'm going to have a seat back on my heels. You know it's intense. I'm going to set a 3-minute timer, and what we're going to do is flow through this. So it's up to you. Nestle into your toes. Maybe bring your hands to prayer center in gratitude for what you have. Stay here as long as you like. And when you are ready, bring the tops of your feet down onto your mat. Sit back onto your heels. Lean on back, letting the knees come up. You can use your hands down by your sides or even your blocks underneath your hands to press on into the tops of your feet. Stay here as long as you like. Flow it. Take it to the depth that is right for you. And then come on back to your toes pose. I've got a timer set for 3 minutes. Just flow through it with your eyes closed and feel what you feel. And know that you're strengthening your foundation in your feet. Just concentrate on your feet and your ankles. They do so much for you. Every day, all day. Give them just a 3-minute focus here. And feel what you feel. Let's just spend a couple more breaths here doing your toes and your ankles however feels right to you. You know, just surrender to the struggle in the feet and let it feel good. So thank you, feet. Thank you, ankles, for all you do to keep us standing and walking and mobile and fit. Let's finish in this little flow of gratitude and come to a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes, circle the ankles, and then tap your feet out on your mat. Finish up, find a block, and maybe your towel and bring it to the top of your mat. Scoot your bolster aside. We're going to come back to that in a bit. Come on down to your belly. Bend your elbows and have your elbows underneath your shoulders. Let's do supported sphinx. That's the name of this pose. You can place your block at whatever height you like. I like it at the high height. And then maybe put your towel on it. Rest, I guess that's the bridge of your nose. Rest that on the block. Press into your arms a little bit, wiggle your hips, get your legs comfortable. You will feel a slight compression of your low back in your Sphinx pose. Really let a lot of the weight in your head rest on the block. 3 minutes here in your supported Sphinx pose. Lengthen through the neck, little compression of the low back. A gentle press into the mat with your forearms. Full breaths in, expanding your lungs out your back to the sides of your mat. And the best part here, and play with this, it's the full breath out. As you really, really exhale all that you got, feel the goodness of that little compression of your low back. Your shoulders are soft and away from your ears. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. When you're ready, if you want to stay here, stay. I'm going to come into a pentacle pose. And you just lift your head up, slip your block away, and roll over onto your back for pentacle. Hopefully that feels really good for you. Legs spread, arms high overhead. Not very long, just enjoy the journey getting here. Big breath in, big breath out. I am thankful. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Wide-legged forward fold is next. If you'd like to join me, arms float down by your sides. Press on up to seated. Now find either your bolster or your blocks, whatever feels right for you. Begin by spreading your legs nice and wide. You can bring the blocks at any height, whatever works, in between your legs. You could bring your bolster. You could set up your bolster on your blocks. Be creative. A little bend in your knees might feel good. We're going to take this wide-legged forward fold. It'll decompress your back after that little Sphinx pose. We're going to do this one for 5 minutes. Don't worry about the time. I've set a timer. Let us begin. Hinge forward gently. Rest onto the setup that you have, either with the bolster or just the blocks. Maybe a towel on your blocks is nice. And breathe. As you inhale, lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, allow your chest to come a little bit closer toward the earth. Hands wherever you like. Let the arms relax. Just breathe. That's all you have to be concerned with here. No thoughts, no worries. I am thankful. As your head becomes heavier and heavier on the block, maybe you decrease the height of your structure and come on down a little bit more. Throughout it all, breathe deeply and be at peace. Your shoulders are soft. Revisit them. Your breath is deep. And you are at peace.
Deep breath in. And deep shoulder softening breath out. No stress, no strain. You've got it. And you've done it for 5 minutes. If you'd like to stay here longer, feel free to do so. If you'd like to come on out of it, gently lift on up, shoulders over your hips. Bring your legs together. Let's do pentacle again, but bring one of your blocks with you to the top of your mat. Pentacle pose, arms go high overhead, legs spread wide, and let it be. I'm going to let her stay today. She's not feeling real good, so I'll move around her. So arms are lifted high, legs spread wide. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. We're not going to stay here super long, just continue to breathe. Hopefully that block is within reach. Bring your arms down and find it. Bring your legs a little closer together. Take the block and place it under your head. Place it at the base of your skull. So the edge of the block is under the base of your skull and the rest of the block goes up your head. All right. So you want to get a nice stretch in your neck here. Kind of feels like the neck cradle we did the other day. Arms down by your sides, maybe palms face up or face down, whatever feels good. Wiggle your shoulders so they are comfortable. Think of lengthening through the back of your neck. Unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. Deep breath in, and deep shoulder softening breath out. A really good cue here is to remember the shoulders. Let them fall back towards your mat. Feel the goodness in your neck as you've kind of created a double chin or triple chin in the front. Let it be. Gently turn your head in one direction. I'm going to turn my head to the right, keeping the shoulders down, and just stay here for a little bit. Take it deeper if it feels good for you. Revisit your shoulders, soften them down away from the ear and toward the mat. As you're ready, bring your gaze back up toward the ceiling and then turn your head in the other direction. Come back to your shoulders again. Keep them down. Another turn of the head back to the starting position, the midline. Feel how good it feels on the back of your skull. And then
then continue on through as you exhale, turning your head to the right or whichever direction you started. And then back to the other side, nice and slowly, appreciating that range of motion you have in your wonderful neck. I'm going to bring my head back to the midline of my body and just take a few breaths here, allowing my neck to lengthen and my shoulders to relax. Maybe you wish to continue and stay in this pose longer. Totally fine. You decide. The pose I'm going to move to next will be a supported bridge pose after a few more breaths here in the neutral position. All right, stay if you like. I'm going to move on to bridge pose. So remove the block from behind your head. You can stay right here. Bring your head all the way down onto your mat, and then take your block, remove it from your back of your neck. Bend your knees, press your hips on up like a bridge pose. It's supported bridge today. Slip the block underneath your low back. And here's where you have a choice. You can take it to its most stable position. You can take the block to its secondary position, or you can take it all the way up. I've got to push up onto my toes to make this happen. And slip the block underneath your low bottom. And you want to place it so that it is low on your tailbone, so your spine is relaxed. Gravity is working with you. That's good. To decompress the low back. I don't like it at this highest height. I like it at the secondary height. So I'm going to put it back there. You give yourself permission to do the same, putting it wherever works for you. But do adjust it so it feels just right. So scoot it pretty low, kind of to the dividing line down there on your bottom, and let your hips fully rest on the block. This is your supported bridge pose. 3 minutes. Arms by your sides. You could cover your eyes, or you could put the blanket on your belly if that feels good. But we're all about decompressing the low back here. Big breaths in, big breaths out. Remember your deep breaths. And as we did in our Sphinx pose, when you take that full exhale, feel how good it feels in the low back to let the gravity just take over and decompress your low back. Take your deep breath in and your deep breath out. Maybe this is feeling marvelous to you, so stay longer. I'm going to move to a brief pontoon pose. To do that, press into the feet, move the block to its most stable height. And you might have to scoot it up just a little bit higher, and then send your legs long on the block. Arms can go up overhead, or you can keep them down by your sides. I'm not going to be here very long. Breathe. If you'd like to come out of it now and go to a brief pentacle pose, bend your knees, soles of the feet on your mat like a starting bridge pose. Push into your feet and slip your block out. Roll your spine down gently, one vertebra at a time. Find that mobility there. Tailbone comes down, last to your mat. Arms spread wide, legs spread wide, pentacle pose. Big breath in and big breath out. Stay here if you like. I'm going to go up next to my wall and do legs up the wall. If you want to join me, bring your arms down and legs back together. Press on up. Bring your bolster, your blanket, your eye shade to the wall. And if you don't have a wall nearby, what you could do is drape your calves up onto a chair. Get the same good sensation. All right, so scoot up next to the wall. One hip or the other. Eye shade, blanket, a couple things you can do with the blanket. You could put it down and rest your shoulders on it, or you can drape it over your body when you get down on the mat and legs go up. So one hip is scooted closer to the wall. Your legs aren't at a perfect right angle. You want to rest your heels on the wall. Cover your eyes with your eye shade if you like. And we're going to be here for a while. So let's get really into this. You could take your bolster, it takes a little bit of movement, and bring your bolster underneath your feet. Roll it on up the wall. Draw your toes toward your shins to create a flat little table there. And the weight of the bolster, what's really nice about this is it helps you drive your tailbone down to the earth even more. If you're not using the bolster, it's just too much of a pain to get up there, draw your toes towards your shins and imagine driving your tailbone more down to the earth. Feels really, really nice. Cover up with a blanket if you like, and let's set our timer for a good 5 minutes here, maybe even a little bit longer. Let's rest here. Arms can be down by your sides. You could have them in like the letter Y, like your pentacle arms, if that feels right today. Or you can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly as you reconnect to the softness of your breath and the peacefulness of your heartbeat. Breathe deeply and enjoy. If your teeth are touching, unclench your jaws. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth and soften the area between your eyebrows. Shoulders are soft and away from your ears. Your tailbone is down on the earth. And you are at peace, and I am thankful. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Stay here longer if you like, or let's conclude our practice with a brief final Shavasana. I'm going to come out of the pose, bending my knees, bringing the bolster down and away, making my way back to my mat, legs off the wall the way you came on. And for today's final Shavasana, cover up with your blanket. Blankets just feel so good. Come on down, fully reclined. Maybe cover your eyes with your eye shade or your little hand towel. Cover up. Arms down by your sides. Palms face up if you like. Maybe you prefer palms face down. What speaks to you today? Let's breathe and enjoy this final little bit of our rest. Any residual tension, let it just melt away into the mat and out of your body. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Stay here longer if you like. If it's time to conclude your hour, let's do that. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Hands and feet move. Wrists and ankles, circle them out. On an inhale, enjoy the journey of taking a big good morning stretch, reaching high overhead, pointing your toes to the bottom of the room, stretching it out. And as you take an exhale, bend your knees and your elbows and roll onto one hip or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Soften in the top shoulder and savor and appreciate this breath. I am thankful. Let's conclude. Slowly press on up, maybe keeping your eyes closed to hold on to that magic just a little bit longer. Press on up to seated. Hands to prayer center. Eyes closed, lengthen up through your spine. Sit however is comfortable for you in this moment. No judgment, no worries, no hurries. Do what is right for you. Big breath in and big breath out. You are perfect just the way you are. Be thankful for what you have. Blink your eyes open. You did it. An hour-long practice. Good on you. Stress number you took in the beginning. What is it now? Let me know how your stress is. Hopefully you're feeling better. Hopefully we're all feeling better. So be grateful. There's so much to be grateful for today. Be grateful for your health, because it's good. Your health right now in this very moment feels really good, doesn't it? I'm happy for that. Okay, as you go on with the day, have a great one. Have a wonderful time. And here's a little proverb that's really cool. I love this. It's a Buddhist proverb, and it says, enough is plenty. It's pretty good, isn't it? Remember that when you eat that pumpkin pie. Love you guys. Have a great day. See you on your mats tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll work it all off. Tomorrow. See you then. Love you guys.